to my channel. It's Christina at Homeschool and Grace, and today is another weekly update for weeks 3 and 4. I wanted to squish them together because I think some of the themes you'll see go well together if we put them together, and I'm going to get way behind if I keep doing it one at a time. So here we go. We're going to do weeks 3 and 4. So how did our weeks go? Well, I will say we've made a lot of changes in certain little things, finding best how to schedule our days, what's working, what's not working. If I felt like some of the kids were not quite ready for some of the books, I either paused them and switched them to a different level or added in a few things. So we added in handwriting without tears. And I think I shared that on my last video, but almost all my kids are doing handwriting without tears right now, that I've added in. Let's see, we have not started spelling with anyone yet. I have not been ready. We're like 6 weeks in real life, and I still haven't added spelling in, which I need to do. It's just been something that we haven't been ready for. But I think this next week we're going to start it. What else? We haven't added in writing skills yet, writing with skills yet. Is that what it's called? Something like that. We haven't added that in. I think that's about it. We switched up some math for some kids. I had one doing teaching textbooks and I actually switched them back to Math UC, one of my older daughters, and it's, I think, going to go a lot smoother. You know, there's just some kids that do great with technology and some that just, it's a little too overwhelming. So we just took a pause from that and switched back to a book form. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. And let's see here. So that is all those updates. I don't know if you saw, I'll put a picture here, maybe here. We did apple pressing last week, 2 weekends ago. For weeks 3 and 4, we went and did apple pressing, which was really fun considering we were like learning about the United States. And so with our exploring countries and cultures, and you know, you got Johnny Appleseed, that was such a big influence in America, and just one of those things that like brought a lot of people together, and that's how we did it. A lot of people came together from our church and we pressed a lot of apples. I can't even remember how many pounds it was, hundreds of pounds. And we got 10 gallons. I think we ended up making over 50 gallons of cider. So that was really fun to do. So yeah, it's been a good few weeks, just learning, you know, as we go, making tweaks as needed, but pretty much sticking with the plan, but willing to make accommodations when needed. So I'm going to start with my oldest, Ancient History and Literature. Now I will say, I will make sure I have timestamps down below if you have a kid that you're looking for a specific, like, I just want to know exploring countries or cultures, or I just want to know first grade, or PreK or whatever. I will have it timestamped so you can just skip to that part and not have to sit and watch through all of them if you're not really interested in that. Okay, so weeks 3 and 4. So I wanted to start out with like what the themes were so you can kind of get an idea of like where we're going with this. So she was first learning about Job. Obviously we're in ancient history, so she's finishing up Job, going on to the Tower of Babel. And then there's Abraham. Let's see, what else? More biblical accounts, so Sodom and Gomorrah, Jacob, and then ancient literature tied into that. So she's working through the Old Testament challenge still. She read through Genesis, and she also read through Job at the same time. Did she finish Genesis? I feel like we're both on the same kind of schedule as far as like Genesis and Job. We both finished, and our like my personal Bible reading, and see that way up there. If you're looking for a Bible reading plan, I recommend Journey. This is what I use. I like to keep this up there because it reminds me then to share with you to read your Bible. That's how I'm reading mine. I'm also doing J. Vernon McGee commentary as I read. I just added that in personally. This will be my 3rd or 4th time reading through the Bible. I think maybe my 4th. But I'm always inspired by George Mueller. I think we read him in, I don't know, one of the years we read George Mueller for the My Father's World family cycle. And it said that he read his Bible like over times? Like 100 in his lifetime or something. That's always inspired me, like, wow, that's something to look up to. Maybe it wasn't that many, but it was a lot. Like, not your average Joe reading plan. Okay, I digress. So she's doing the Old Testament challenge. I will pause like at the end of the week and just ask her a few questions from it. I'm not making her journal necessarily. I want her to be able to just, if she wants to journal, but I don't want to force it. I could be doing it wrong. Maybe she should be journaling, but I think it's great to journal, but I also know sometimes that needs to be between her and the Holy Spirit and being prompted to journal. So that's my 2 cents on that. So I don't make her journal. I encourage it, but I don't force it. But I just like that she's in the Word. Just read it, listen to it, whatever. That was Bible. Okay, exploring world history. Okay, so through Knotgrass, this took a while to get used to how, you read it and do the review questions. We were doing the review questions like after she read, and we really found it's better if she just reads the review questions and then finds the answers as she goes. And then she just writes it. She makes a copy of the page and just writes it right on the page. And then I go and I have the answer book and then answer key, and then I can just double check it. That's become a lot easier for us than like she would do this after the reading and she'd forget what she had read, and like not always. It was a bit of a struggle. So we made a few modifications there. Any of that? Oh yeah. So in Bible, she's also using this Bible Atlas. It's really just looking at a map and then reading a little blurb about it. That's about all she's been doing with that. With her Bible time. Okay, so she learned from her exploring world history. It was Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham, early people groups, and all that. We also read in their words. We have done where I just read that to her and then we just discuss it as we go, because sometimes the writings are a bit advanced and I'm like, I'm not sure. But we do it together. Let's see here. She has been working on her timeline. I don't think I have it up here. No, but she has been working on that. I like the format of it because it tells them where to put them and they're stickers that you can just stick on. You have to cut them out, but then you stick them on, and she's been doing great with the timeline. So as you can see, the theme right now is very early Bible. We're in Genesis, really, and Job, which is, they have said, like biblical scholars have said, that was probably during that time of like Abraham, I believe. And so also she read, all my books were like, everything I need, I put them upside down, like the bottom up. Okay, the Epic of Gilgamesh, she read through. Now I will say I actually read this to her because it's really tough reading. So we sat together and read it. We had the questions from her Ancient Literature and Supplement, and just like the Knotgrass, as I would read, she'd look at the questions and then she could answer them as we went through the reading, instead of like waiting till the end and then you're like, I don't remember, and I wouldn't remember to help her. Like, I can't even remember that. So it was much better to just do them at the same time in tandem. We borrowed these from my sister. She has the Epic of Gilgamesh. So you can see it better. Gilgamesh the King, Revenge of Ishtar, The Last Quest of Gilgamesh. This was just helpful, like a visual key for the stories. But I just really like the artwork. Can you see that? So she could use these if needed. We also watched 2 or 3 videos on Epic of Gilgamesh just to help. It's kind of like watching the movie before you read the book. That's kind of how we did it, so that we could have a visual idea in our heads of how the story was to go, so that when we were reading, we could understand the flow. Because this is a nice condensed version, but still there's a lot of funny names and characters, and you're trying to visualize, like, what am I supposed to be seeing? So we did it that way. So I'll link the videos below if you're interested. One of them is a bit, they've made it into like a comic video. So it's a little gruesome with Humbaba. Is that his name? The big demon guy. I think it's Humbaba. Yeah, Humbaba. So, warning. If you If your kids don't like that, maybe preview it beforehand. She didn't have a problem with it, but some I know can be more sensitive. She didn't use that this week. It's going to be long. Okay. Probably want a cup of coffee. She read some from this. This, again, I'm letting her watch videos as I find them on YouTube. I have like a private playlist that like I'll look up the chapter, the name of it, and then find a video that ties into that chapter, and she watches that instead of reading it because it's a little dry. Let's see. So that's how we're doing that. She's kind of struggling through this one too. Again, it's a bit dry, but she is getting through it. We've tried to find videos that match up, but because this is a biblical worldview, I don't feel like the videos that I've been able to find are, and I like that it's really trying to prove that everything in the Bible that it tied into Egypt is truth. So we're still reading through that. Okay, let's see here. I think we got through all her books. Still doing teaching textbooks for math. Science, she's doing forensic science at her co-op. She started Dave Ramsey's Foundations in Personal Finance through her co-op as well. She's liking this, and I'm liking it. So that's been good to add in. Okay, that was a lot just for high school. Oh boy. Okay, let's move along a little quicker here, Christina. Okay, next group, exploring countries and cultures. Okay, so weeks 3 and 4. So the theme for this one is going to be the United States. We are in the United States for geography, and so you will see that throughout all parts of it. That's what I really like about my Father's World. They're really good about tying everything together so that it's cohesive. That's what I really like about it. So, Window on the World, we read about the Navajos, Cuba. So we read those stories. We did Hero Tales. Now, I will say we did Hero Tales a little different from what the book recommends. So I made a copy of the picture in Hero Tales, and they just cut it out, and then I just haven't put the name. And my oldest has to do more of the like character qualities from the story. They're longer, but my 3rd grader, I just have her write the title of each chapter. And so that's worked out better for us. So she did that one, and she did Harriet Tubman. And again, writing that out. So that's just kind of a simple, condensed version of how we're doing that. We're also reading through Matthew. They're supposed to do a bookmark. We didn't do that. I really like the discussion questions, and they're really big on just reviewing and narration, which is just good practice for doing that. We were to do geography from A to Z. Again, these have kind of been my go-to this year. I mean, even my 5th grader, I got one. I know they're really basic, but they're just easy. I like that it has the picture, and then they can just write about. So they did the continental shelf or forest. There's ocean. This might have been her forest. Didn't get very far. So that's what she's been doing for that. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to kind of skip through all their kind of math, English. I don't think we need to go through all that today. Okay, geography. We're in the United States, so it was a lot on this Children's Atlas of God's World. North America. Just talking about this. So I have kind of shifted things up for this. Instead of trying to do Bible, geography, science, music, all that all at once with them, I have changed it to where Bible we do in the morning as like our morning basket. And I have a video actually I'll be sharing about our morning basket and how we use it with My Father's World coming up. So then in the afternoon, we either do geography. So I made it more of a block schedule. So like 1 to 2 days a week, we'll do geography, and I'll kind of push all the geography together, squish what I can together. And then the other days we'll do science and art, and then I'll add in the music with the geography. So that has gone a lot smoother. It doesn't feel like we're trying to accomplish so much at once. Like it was just getting to be too much. Especially for like my 3rd grader, she needed to kind of slow down some. And so that kind of made it more focused instead of going from one subject to the next. So that's what we're doing. So this was for geography. We did, this thing, this thing. There was some more map work, but I'm not sure where I put it. We read from in the Classroom Atlas. This was again looking at political and physical maps. Then we did, so for music, I've been adding in this old We Sing. They don't offer this anymore with it, but it's We Sing Around the World. This came with, was it the second edition? What are we on? Third edition? So probably the second edition. I still had it. So we listened to this and talked about it for the music. Let's see what else. Okay, we were supposed to add in this for my fifth grader. I feel like it's just not going to work this year. I'll be honest. So we have not even attempted this. I keep looking at it thinking, maybe we can make this work, and it's just not. Don't think it's going to work. So it's been shelved. I've got like 3 or 4 copies of this, so maybe the next time we come around in the family cycle, we'll use it. But this time, it's shelved. That's fine. Okay, moving on to history. Oh, no, wait. Okay, so lastly, Come to the Table. I really like this new little book for cooking, I guess. Yeah, cooking. So my oldest made brownies. We just bought a brownie mix. She made that. And then I had her look up the history of brownies. So that was kind of fun for her to kind of research that and learn about where brownies came from, since they're originated in the United States. So that was fun for her. For art, we didn't do a ton. We attempted the Native American hide paintings. They had fun doing that. And then they also did the Central Park. They made their own parks. So that was fun for them to do an overview, kind of like a bird's eye view. They had really a lot of fun doing it. For science, we learned about forests, and I will say, I can't remember her name, on the Exploring Countries and Cultures. She made these awesome, I can't find it right now. She made some awesome science pages for Living World, so I'll try and link them below. I don't know if I can, though. Anyway, they have been such a big help to get this done. And it's just a lot of drawing and maybe a little bit of writing. If you don't have a big writer, it's a great option. And then properties of ecosystems. Been working through that, learning about forests. And I just made copies as needed. Okay. And as you can see, I've got pictures up here. We're in the desert right now. But I've been using this SRA photo library. This was given to us. I've seen it on eBay if you're interested in something like this, but I use it for all my kids' school, kindergarten, with the first grade for the science. I'll pull out pictures for like the forests or something, or trees if she's learning about that, or flowers. Obviously for the ecosystems we use it. It's kind of a great little resource we have. Okay, so that was Exploring Countries and Cultures. And now on to Learning God's Story, weeks 3 and 4. Now the themes for this are more based on like the proverb that we're reading. And so all the Bible is tied into the proverbs that we're reading. So one of them was, if you really want to become wise, you must begin by having respect for the Lord. So we would read that each day. And then, okay, so then all the stories had kind of tied into that, which I appreciated. So she learned about bears through it, and I think bats and butterflies and all sorts of things. So she really likes to use hers. Whatever animal she learns about from this, she draws a picture of. So we've got a butterfly. Another butterfly. Anyway, so this has been good just to add in. She uses this a lot. She really likes to use that. Again, so then tying that into science. So we learned about plants and flowers. So we were doing, I keep holding this up. It's not tying it. Okay, so for science, things outdoors and plants, she learned about flowers and plants. And I pulled out this Gail Gibbons book, From Seed to Plant, read that to her. She liked that. Okay, and here, let's see. Oh, yeah, butterfly. So she learned about the butterfly, which goes to the flowers. which ties in with science, so I appreciated that. Okay, so for reading, she's still working through her workbook and student sheet. She finished up her scroll. She started the 4 square pages where you for each vowel sound, and so she worked on that. I didn't pull those out, but you get the idea. Let's see. I'm just working through those pages. She did pretty good. I made little flashcards for those, and we play a lot of Ziggy games. Now, these are from All About Reading. Think what I'm trying to say. So they're little file folder games, but they're great for practicing all the new words that they're learning and sounds and, consonant blends. So we utilize these a lot for the reading review or just for practice, or sometimes during the lessons we just do one of those first. So that's been great. I also like to utilize these that I have. I don't have all of them, so I just pulled out one I had. So word family tales. It's like a word family. So ing, she's learned about, let's say there's certain sounds or names of the letters. So anyway, there's a bunch of these. So I'll read this to her to help her to find those word families. So that's been fun to add in. I've tried to find the whole box set. It's like $40. I didn't want to buy it. I'm kicking myself because I went to a used book sale and they had a ton of these. And I didn't buy them all because I was like, I don't know if I need them all. And they were like 10 cents each. Just buy them if they're 10 cents. I'm telling myself that. Come on, Christina. What are you doing? Okay. I also, here or there, I add in handwriting without tears. I just really like how they do the letter formations. It's really helped her with that. She didn't do that page. Whatever. I don't know what page she's on. We'll just show you there. I got the little chalkboard to go with it, so that's been helpful. For math, I sometimes do the math that's recommended in here, but she's been finishing up her primer, I don't know. But I did get the next one, alpha, for her. But she has just been having fun, going through the pages we didn't finish and then just working through this. So we're just going to wrap this up. She's more than halfway. I feel like it's a good tie-in for the first grade math. Oh, to go along with the science, she did the seasons. Again, I just had her put the seasons in here. So she wrote fall and then winter, spring, and summer. I don't know if you can even see those hardly. But anyway, so that's how she did her seasons pages. She liked doing that. So there you go. I think I got everything. Okay, so that was Learning God's Story. We're coming to the end. Sorry, this is so loud every time Okay. Voyage of Discovery for my PreK. The themes again was on obedience and perseverance. And so you'll kind of see that theme throughout. Okay, so for Bible, so of course we listened to her Hide 'Em in Her Heart CD first. We just do that every day. So it was Children Obey Your Parents, and then another one. So she finished up creation and learned about Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark. So that was the big theme. Oh, and she made a little Noah's Ark. I don't know where I put it. We did make one. So she did that. So I found I've been using these this year. This is the first time I've been really good about using them. And I've had them for years. Okay, so I pulled out, her Adam and Eve poster. This goes Adam and Eve into Noah. Then we've got Noah. That was the first part. I also added in Bible Times Nursery Rhyme book because it, again, ties into a lot of it. Let's see here. Okay, we got Noah's Ark. Just sweet little pictures. The first baby. Adam and Eve. In the garden of weeds. Where'd they live? Anyway, I really like to use that book when I can. And then we just kind of I really like how all the Bibles tied in together, and there's typically a a craft that goes with the Bible. So like I said, she made a whole little Noah's Ark boat, but I don't know where I put it. Anyway, she made the ark and we put little animals in it. We just used stickers that we had doubles of so she could, put the animals together. And then people, again, she put in the ark, and she made a little rainbow. Again, I don't know what I did with all that. Somewhere safe. But she did do all that. Okay, we also made homemade Play-Doh. For her ABCs, I like to use these ABC cards. And then as she's learning her 1, 2, 3s, we use these. I've tried to find them. It might be something, if you're interested, to find on eBay. They're really not necessary. They're just cute little cards that, say the letter. E is for empty, and then there's typically a little thing where you're like supposed to match or something. But very, very age appropriate. So we like to add those in. Well, you can come say hi.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
I'm talking about your school. This is the one who does Voyage of Discovery. Do you want to show them your cards?
Yeah.
Okay, so for her alphabet, her letter A and B art activity, this was mine from preschool, and we just have reused it. So she did this.
The apples.
Yep, A is for apples, and she wrote her A on the back. And then B is for what?
Butterfly.
Butterfly. She made a B on the back on blue paper. You did great.
I did another one.
You did another one?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Share the next.
Okay.
And I did this one.
Yes.
The cow.
C is for cows.
That has the bottom. That has the bottom one of it. And I did this dinosaur one.
Yeah. You did awesome. Okay, well, thanks for helping me share that with them. Okay, can you head downstairs? Hey, you've got to share some. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. She really wanted to show you what she did. Okay. We also added in these Scholastic Alpha Tales, The Adventures of Abby Alligator, and Bubble Bear to read. She did her little art pages for number 1. And then she also had her ABC ones, but they're in her binder, so I didn't pull them out. A friend gave us this Christian Liberty Preschool Activity Book, so this has been fun to add in if she wants to do more work. So, it's just a little activity book, so we've been adding that in. We also read Over in the Meadow, so this is what comes with the curriculum. This is illustrated by Ezra Jack Keats. And then we have this one, so it's fun to read both, see the little differences. There was Big Book of Things to Spot book. I can't find ours. I don't know what she did with it, but that's okay. I think that was about it. So that was for Voyage of Discovery. So I hope this video was helpful for you to get some ideas for your own school. Obviously, I don't do everything. I'm just kind of showing you a snippet of what we do and how we get it done, what I like to add in, what I don't add in, and just, make it work for you in your own home. So again, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know what week you're on, and I hope to see you at the next video. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. PreK or whatever. I will have it timestamped so you can just skip to that part and not have to sit and watch through all of them if you're not really interested in that. Amazon drivers listening to the Bible and Revelation. I was like, why am I hearing someone talking about the beast being taken out? What is happening? He's listening to the Bible. Praise the Lord. So, good for him. Okay. Where was I? I was very distracted by that. Where did I put my book?